Hey,
Hi
hi. So
Vivek,
sorry, Harshad. The
no
technical
problem.
things.
Vivek, we are live. All right, so I've introduced the
Wow,
topic. Uh,
wonderful.
Thank you, Vivek, for joining me live and accepting my invitation.
My pleasure. It's indeed great connecting with you and talking on such a brilliant topic, which is the need of the hour.
Yes.
If every
For the
organization is
audience, let
struggling for
me,
it.
yeah. For the audience, let me introduce Vivek because I'm sure many of you would know Vivek at least on LinkedIn because he's one of the LinkedIn influencers. So if you don't know, then do follow him because he shares very interesting content almost every day on LinkedIn. And I know Vivek because of LinkedIn for last 3 years now. All right, LinkedIn is Vivek is founder of Business Enablers. He has 25 years of experience in consulting, people development, strategic planning, leadership development. He consults companies for their employee development, performance management, and he rightly calls himself as performance management specialist. Okay, and that's why we have Vivek today for this topic, performance reviews. So Vivek, so let's get into the topic. And audience, please start putting your questions, okay? Because you know the format. I generally keep only 2 3 questions for myself. I would like to get more questions from you, the audience. All right, so start putting in the comments. We will throw them at the appropriate time, and after my couple of questions, it's all you, audience. All right, so let me know your questions in the comments. Vivek, the very first question, let's get to the basics of performance reviews. What is the real purpose of performance reviews in organizations from both sides, from employee as well as manager and organization side? And is it being followed currently to the T? Is it being followed properly? What are your practical insights dealing with so many companies every day?
Mhm. Let me first thank you for this great opportunity to speak on such a subject. Coming to a performance review, if you talk of the core purpose, I think there lies the biggest problem there, how it is
Okay.
perceived in the majority of the places. Performance management or a performance review or a performance appraisal is mostly being treated as a measuring tool.
Mm-hmm.
Though yes, measuring is an activity, but yes, the core purpose of this particular tool is to manage performance.
Yeah.
Why manage performance? So that it's not just managing the performance, it's also aligning the employee performance with the organization goal. It plays a critical role because every organization, in order to succeed, they have to make sure that each individual contributes towards that growth.
Yes.
And in most cases we have seen this alignment fails.
Okay.
you know Organization is driven in some direction,
Mm.
where the owner or the top leaders think
Mm.
about it, and the people down the order, they are only just executing their activities.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And there lies a big gap between what they do and what is expected and what they're asked to do. So performance management broadly, it has too many activities in it. Yes, measuring is one tool, because unless you measure, you cannot manage.
Yes.
But you have to measure it, then you have to analyze it, and then you have to action something on it, so that ultimate outcome of this whole activity, the development comes out.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now your second part of the question was, what is happening in the market, what is happening in the
Yes.
industry. See, I essentially work with the small and medium businesses.
Yes.
In some form or the other, everyone is following it. They began with measuring,
Mm-hmm.
and their whole activity ends at measurement.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
linked with the measurement is some reward or some punishment.
Mm.
But the real essence of it, the development aspect, the alignment aspect, is majorly missing. But the good thing is, yes, companies have started realizing the need of it.
Okay.
See,
Mm-hmm.
imagine the COVID kind of a situation, and this is a very known fact. In fact, Deloitte also published this report.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the leaders are not aware of the abilities in their people.
Okay.
They're not aware
Mm-hmm.
of what skills they carry. They're not aware of what magical skills they have.
Mm-hmm.
And during COVID, what we saw was people were leaving or people were asked to leave.
Yes.
They
Yes.
could have utilized in a different fashion. So
Yes.
it has become a more of a punishment or a reward tool.
Mm.
At the end of the year, we will measure and we will give you something. And
Yeah.
and
Mm.
employee expectation is also end of the year we need something. To need something, we need to show some rating. So that that dangerous game of getting to reaching to that rating and then getting something,
Yes.
but the core essence of the system is lost in it, and
Vivek.
that
Yeah.
happens majorly.
Vivek, I really appreciate your honest answer here because it's a public platform. But really, because let's discuss what really happens, and that's the way I started. That people get jitters on employee side when they go through performance review, and sometimes
Mhm.
managers also find it difficult, or they just complete it for the HR sake. So it's not being followed. And you rightly said there is measurement, there is development, and there is alignment aspect. All three should play equal role, then it's the real outcome can be expected. So then, Vivek, in your experience, and you help companies implement those performance reviews properly, so any better systems, best systems you have seen being implemented yourself or in companies in India or foreign? What is the right way? What is the ideal way of implementing? Let's start maybe now from the reality to where do we want to go?
Certainly a lot of changes have come into it. A lot of companies have now if you see, the current performance management system has become much agile.
Okay.
Gone are the days when once in a year you meet, you review, and then you do something.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the time where everything is so volatile. Technology
Okay.
keeps changing, business models are changing, methods
Yes.
are changing. How can you wait for 1 year to understand
Yes.
where you
Mm-hmm.
were wrong? And
Yes.
and that's a good approach where a very frequent appraisal mechanism is being implemented.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, in
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
this is what we do with all our clients.
Okay.
Instead of an annual appraisal, we have gone into monthly or a fortnightly kind of a review.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we have broken down because unless you keep track of what you are doing, how effective it is,
Mm.
and whether it will take you towards your annual goal or not, end of the year you cannot check and you cannot ask yourself have you reached there or not, because there
Mm-hmm.
is nothing that you can do about it then. And that's so a lot of traditional methods are so-called outdated methods, and now companies are becoming more agile in it, and they are adding more value to it. So the feel is changing.
Okay.
It is no
Mm.
longer a reward mechanism.
Okay. Mm.
It is essentially becoming a development tool. So now the employer also understand and employees also understand this review is to correct.
Mm.
This review is not to give you reward or to punish you, but
Is
it
to,
is
yeah.
to
Mm.
explore the possibility and explore the potential and find out what is not right. Not necessarily a person's mistake, it could be a system mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mm.
unless
Mm.
you keep correcting yourself, By the time you realize, it is too late.
Yeah.
And that is the
Mm.
biggest change that I'm seeing. Companies have started moving out of that annual system, that bell curve and all those things, but it is more
Yes.
agile.
Wow. Yeah.
While on the go, let us keep correcting.
Mm.
And that is a big positive change that I'm seeing. In fact, a lot of focus is coming on goal alignments as well.
Okay.
You know, and traditionally, especially with these small and medium enterprises, the only target, the only goal they set is financial goals.
Yeah.
We need this revenue. Last year we earned this.
Mhm.
This year we need this person. And everyone, whether they are in sales, whether they are in service, whether they are
Yeah.
in support, marketing, everyone is running with that target. I have to do some lakh, some crore, some thousand, and that leads them to nowhere.
Yes. Mm.
But yes, now companies are learning that. Employee motivation, employee development, and a concrete vision is needed. And that is what performance management is doing these days.
Yeah, great, great. So good that companies are learning and they are becoming more agile. And as you said, instead of yearly or 6 monthly, why not having it, I mean, monthly or maybe even fortnightly, so that alignment can be faster. And even employee doesn't think that it's a punishment, right? The employee also feels, okay, okay, something didn't happen last 15 days. Let me spend next 15 days doing slightly better, right? So it can maybe,
So,
the feedback can come very faster. Now, my next
so
question, Vivek, is I'm sure all the people in the audience would have this in mind. As an employee, as a team member, at any level, if you are, someone is going to review your performance. So, any tips to ace that performance review? So, let me take here employees' side. What I keep hearing is that I don't know how to present myself, or I don't do that well, or manager tells me that, I mean, he should know what I have done. Why should I write that, or how should I write that? Or I was not visible, or manager didn't take me seriously, or manager didn't understand what, I mean, maybe difficulties I went through. That's why I got less or more results, whatever. As an employee, how to ace that review system so that, like, I get what I deserve.
see, I have been an employee for 25 long years, and I have gone through these complete cycles, and all these pointers that you are talking about.
Yes.
I have been cribbing and I have been crying and I have been cursing on it. All these pointers, you have missed only one very, very important aspect.
Okay.
As an employee,
Hmm.
do I know what I'm supposed to do?
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
Do I know in what way I'm contributing towards the organization goal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever targets are given to you,
Mhm.
they may be right, they may be wrong.
Okay.
But the day you generate that kind of awareness,
Mhm.
कि whatever contribution you are going to do, in
Mhm.
whatever way it will contribute to the organization progress,
Yeah. Yeah.
believe me, you will be ready with your own story, you would be ready with your own thing.
Okay. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Because what happens is, and I have been, I'll not say victim, I have been a culprit. I have been doing it when I was in corporate. We were only focused on these numbers are given to us. And we were blindly running after those numbers. If we achieve, let's say, 80% of it, we will get 4 rating. If it goes below, we'll get 3 rating. With 3
Yes.
rating, I'll not get rewards.
Yes.
The whole focus was on the returns or on the outcome of it.
Hmm.
We never evaluated ki whatever we are doing today, how it will help organization to move towards its goal.
Yes.
Because the day I know how I'm positively contributing to it, I can confidently present myself in the appraisal. Because my numbers might be lower and the numbers are insignificant. I'm presenting in my own way. This is how I'll take organization to the next level. Though I'm not saying, you go against the tasks that are given. But there is too much of to focus on the task. I mean, we have to align it well. And as
Okay.
an employee, if you know the alignment, you can improve your activities and you can present yourself well. Otherwise, it is a number game. You know you have not achieved numbers that can get you a 5 rating or a 4 rating. So whoever you complain does not make a difference. You are losing it. So
Vivek, you
you
just
cannot
gave us the essence. Basically, the alignment is the first thing, right?
carry.
Vivek, see, it also means that before even I write that review, maybe end of whatever quarter, 6 month, 1 year, right at the start, I should know what is expected from me, right? It is definitely my manager's responsibility as well to communicate,
It
but
is. It
but
is.
my responsibility also to maybe ask or get
Exactly.
clarification or maybe ask again. And as you said, because we are becoming more agile, maybe my goals or my expectations might change after few days, after weeks,
It
maybe
may.
month,
They
right?
may. They may.
Right? Or I did not understand. My manager said that in a team meeting, but I probably did not get that clearly. So, is this the essence? Is even deeper and continuous communication between the me and my manager?
Exactly.
Mm.
First I wanted to tell you this, and this I'm doing with my clients.
Okay.
And these days, especially post COVID, everyone is so fancy about employee engagement.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the clients also came to me, sir, what are we doing about employee engagement? I
Mhm.
said, we will do monthly review.
Okay.
Well, how is this engagement?
Engagement.
And
Yeah.
I said, this is the key engagement.
Okay.
Hear
Okay.
hear your people out, understand what is their understanding,
Mm.
help them align, give them the confidence, motivate them, and that is where, with all my clients, a monthly review, we don't call it a review, but it is
Mm.
more of an update,
Okay.
is
Update.
mandatory.
Mm. Mm. All
And
right.
it is
Mm.
more
Mm.
of one on one. You present
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
challenges you face, and you get a guidance on it. Now, coming back to your question, yes, management has a very, very important role to play in it. Employees as an individual cannot decide on it on their own. Management has to be clear with their vision of where they want to be.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then set the goals and targets for the individual that can help them. So basically that brings the alignment.
Yes. Yes.
In major cases, the goals, or you call them KRAs or KPIs, are set in isolation. I
Okay.
met a
Mm-hmm.
couple of clients who were doing performance appraisals and they got stuck. They could not evaluate certain KPIs.
Okay.
They struggled. How do you measure it? Because the KRAs and KPIs were designed in isolation. The fancy one, what is market fit, what is going on in the market. Not that the intention was wrong, but yes, the method was wrong. But yes, a lot of awareness is coming there, and that's what a big thing. So that alignment is very, very important, and management has to play a key role because goals, targets, KRAs are set by the management.
Yes.
So I keep telling them, set that, and make sure you involve your employees in the goal
Hmm.
setting process, because when
Yes.
they participate, they understand it better, and when they understand it better, they own it better. So you don't have to use carrot and stick. They are self-driven.
And if I'm in a company which does not have such monthly thing, for example, they are not your clients, should I then maybe set up a meeting myself, let's say? I'm thinking from an action oriented here
Sure,
that, as you said, the system is set by very higher up. I do not have any influence on that, neither on the goals. But what can I do to at least align myself, to at
correct,
least
correct.
get that enough input?
You can always make a beginning,
Hmm.
and first thing begins with you. Especially a small businesses, they may have fancy goals. Ask them what is your dream, what is the vision. A
Yes.
very traditional interview question: where do you see 5 years from now? And I ask my clients, where do you see your business 5 years from now?
Okay.
Because if you
Mm-hmm.
cannot see where you are 5 years from now, don't expect your employer to be, connected with you and be involved and motivated, because you yourself are
Yes.
not clear.
Clear. Yes.
Those will only worry about their salary.
Mm.
Plus, on this particular date, the amount should get credited,
Should get paid. Yeah.
and they
Mm.
should not wonder next month whether it will credit or not. So that's
Makes
how it
sense. Yeah.
is.
Total sense. Thank you, Vivek. Yes. So, audience, if you are loving Vivek's inputs, just say whatever you feel in the comments, right? We've already got golden nuggets from Vivek that it should start with you first. Whatever your management is doing, can you at least start getting enough feedback from your manager, not at the end of the quarter or performance cycle, but even at the start, even monthly? And these are already golden nuggets shared by Vivek. So hope you are liking this. Put in the comments what are your thoughts. This is a best time to put your questions as well. I already see a couple of questions coming. Why don't you put all your questions? I'll take them one by one just after my next question. So I just have one more question,
Hmm.
but let me have more questions from the audience.
Sure.
I just have a small announcement to make before we move ahead. Those of you who are looking for the next job, and probably, out of job currently because of COVID, or they are getting stuck in their career, in their current job. My next event is coming Sunday. It's a job search masterclass, not on LinkedIn, but I have a 1.5 hour Zoom session on this. So you will have to register and get that Zoom link, harshadbhagwat.com/webinar. So hope to see many of you on Sunday. Uh, 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 Vivek, my next question is from manager's
Hmm.
side. Okay, now employee side, I got that. From managers, how do I conduct? I'm maybe a team leader of just 5 people, or maybe 50 people, or maybe I'm a leader of maybe 10 managers, and they have many people. Whatever is
Hmm.
the case, what is the essence of me doing performance reviews of my employees or my subordinates?
As a manager, I'm worried about my goals.
Mm.
I'm worried about my targets. I cannot achieve my targets unless my team achieves.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And and
Mm-hmm.
and and to keep it very short, I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to evaluate or review them.
Okay.
My whole intent should be to help them achieve their targets,
Targets.
because when they achieve their targets, I achieve my target.
My targets. Mm.
So, you know, I've seen and I have been a part, but I have good and bad reviewers both.
Okay.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are reviewers who will be kind of investigating you,
Yes.
and their whole intent is to find out faults in you. But that's a very negative side. Though you need to find out weaknesses, but I'll not call them as faults. The intent must be to improve and develop.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
I cannot stop at finding faults and punishing them or rewarding them. I have
Yes.
to take a step beyond.
Mm.
And that is the core essence of performance management. And this is what, and this as a manager I'll do, not because I'm too worried about my people, but also because I'm worried about my future. Because I
Which
also
is,
have to
yes,
face this.
yes.
So that's a whole cycle. So
Yeah.
if we go
Again,
with the mindset of improvement, if we go with the
improvement.
mindset of development, I mean whole outcome is different.
Mm.
And people are not. In fact, I recently completed these appraisal for a couple of my clients, and
Okay.
this was for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They never had this, though they had annual thing and all. So we started doing monthly reviews, and I
Monthly.
created. Initially, there was a resistance,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to do review on my own. I said, managers, you keep aside, let me do the review.
Mm-hmm.
And the reaction was, sir, we were not doing this for so many years. At least this system helps us understand where are we falling short.
Yes.
We know how we can improve ourselves. So the focus is shifted from manager to the individual. You evaluate yourself. It's more of a self evaluation, and work on yourself, improve yourself, so that you grow and company grows.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I mean the focus must be from policing towards, as we say, you should the focus should be more on mentoring people, not monitoring. And there lies the whole difference. With what intent you are taking that process, are
Mm.
you monitoring them or you mentoring them? That changes the whole game.
Yeah. Wow. Again, you gave the essence that, uh, yeah, I mean, Vivek, I'm loving this conversation. No fluff. You are
My
getting
pleasure.
right to the point, right to the heart of everything. As a manager, if I'm pointing out faults, at least during performance reviews, I'm just poking people, monitoring them, then they will also not like me, and I will anyway not achieve my goals anyway, right?
Exactly.
But
See,
if I continuously, my intention is to review and improve what happened, what didn't happen, and they perform because of that, then I perform. So yeah, yeah, that should
see,
be
I
the
like to.
perspective.
I'll just add to this. In the previous question, you made some certain pointers. No,
Yes.
those are nothing but a defense mechanism.
Okay.
When I know
Hmm.
my appraiser, my evaluator is going to scrutinize me and try to pull me down, that
Hmm.
is my defense mechanism.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes,
don't
yes.
know how to do, I don't know how to do this. Because now you are in a protective mode. So
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
open conversation never
Open
happens.
yeah, yeah.
So
even
one
even
is
if
trying to,
I couldn't achieve, I will not hide it actually. I'll not it will be an open conversation, and as you said, it is because it is monthly, I get more time to correct it actually.
so
Same with
I've
manager,
been
right? If team is not performing, the manager also gets more time to correct.
exactly, I'll just add, I have been lucky to work with managers like this.
Okay.
And the simple thing, Vivek, whatever happens, you have done goof up, you have done mistake, you have done blunder, don't worry. Come and tell
Hmm.
me.
Comment.
Come
Yeah.
and tell me, I will take care of it.
Hmm.
And believe me, the early stage of my career, I had a manager like this. Come whatever, Vivek, you have done something wrong, don't feel bad. Tell me, make sure you correct it. Make sure
Wow.
you don't repeat it. But yes,
Yeah.
this time I'm standing. I'll take care of it.
Wow.
Future you take care of, current I'll take care. And then when you work with the manager like this, you don't hesitate, and that's where your engagement happens. You are ready to do anything for such managers.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. They had
That's
your
how. That's
back when it was difficult situation. You will
correct.
have their back when it is a difficult
Exactly.
situation for them. Great example, Vivek. Just a question from the audience. Actually, Manish, I think said it before when we were discussing employee side. There is a perception that it is more of rewarding and punishment rather than practicing in wholesome manner. So, Vivek, you discussed that at how it is slowly changing, and managers
Correct.
should take it as more developmental thing. But now Manish is asking a good question here. In performance reviews, the format is quite demanding. For example, like being proactive and creative, right? It is one of the expectation, let's say. Whereas
Mhm.
during normal function is employees are kept limited to execute orders and instructions. So, it's already defined. You have to just follow those things. But in performance review, you are expected to be proactive and creative. So, what should we do if I think he's talking about the soft skills aspects also, right? May not be always numbers driven, but your approach, your attitude. But as an employee, I didn't get a chance to showcase my things. That's his question.
I agree with what where Manish is coming from. Yes, there was a system which was very number oriented, which is very number driven. You have to achieve this, and you are evaluated on it. One is, again, I'll go back to my point where, whatever goals or whatever targets I'm carrying,
Mm-hmm.
do I know the purpose of it?
Okay.
Or I'm running after the numbers only?
Mm-hmm.
You will find out opportunities to do this. What additionally we are doing, and in fact, we are doing almost with every of our client, and many other companies are doing it. We are
Okay.
mixing up the qualitative and the quantitative aspect of it. The earlier
Okay.
or the traditional performance management was very quantitative. You have to achieve X numbers, you have to do X percentage, you have to do
Yes.
this, and it was very black and white. End of the year, we see this is what you were supposed to achieve, this is what you have achieved, you fall into this rating, and this is how a reward or a punishment happens.
Yes.
Now the qualitative aspects are also being added. What are
Okay.
those behavioral aspects?
Mm.
What are you call it soft skills, like Manish pointed out, proactiveness, creativity? What are those behavioral aspects that the job demands, that
Okay.
the role
Mm-hmm.
demands? And believe me, you don't have to do any additional activity to it. These behavioral aspects reflect in every activity that you do. It could be
Mm-hmm.
customer
Mm-hmm.
management, it could be sales process, it could be anything. The way you handle it, the way you face challenges, the way you handle the blockages.
Mm.
I mean, it reflects on your personality traits. It reflects on those behavioral elements, and these are the things. These are those instances that you can quote during your appraisal. You
Mm.
see, in such a, and that becomes again a storytelling.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah.
situation. This is how I handled it, and that becomes a very very proven system. So now in our appraisal we are adding those elements also.
Okay.
Tell us how tell us how you reflected, let's say, creativity during your work.
Mm-hmm.
To show creativity you don't have to do anything extra. Whatever is assigned to you, the way
Mm-hmm.
you handle it, I mean it can reflect creativity in it. And when you are
Yeah.
clear on
Yeah.
it, that's how you can represent. This is how I have shown creativity. I hope it answers Manish. It is great to see Manish because Manish has been connected with me on LinkedIn, and we have been exchanging on some of the posts.
Great, great, great.
I
That
don't
I
know how
told you,
much I answered.
Vivek, that many of the audience would already know you at least on LinkedIn. So that's the power of LinkedIn, right? Vivek, again, going back to the core, you rightly said,
Hmm.
even if you are in an operational role, may not be an R&D role, but still in your day-to-day work, did you show any proactiveness, creativity, for example, right? In your day-to-day
Exactly.
role, it can be just one incident or a 1% improvement, maybe in your process. Did you come up with something, let's say, okay, let us do this instead of this, and that
See,
could be the story to tell in the review.
by adding these qualitative measure in the appraisal, we
Hmm.
actually create an opportunity for an employer to
Yes.
showcase how they have instances. And
Yeah,
since
exactly.
these are such a relevant instances, your manager cannot deny that because manager had experienced you doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Totally get this. Yeah.
That how
Audience,
it
so
shows.
if you have questions, let me know in the comment box. Um Vivek, my next question is, if
Mhm.
I get a negative feedback, okay, as an employee, or if I feel someone else is getting favoritism, or the benefit of favoritism, or my performance is getting ignored, so anything which I'm not happy with my review system, even if it's good review system, I'm not happy with it. What should I do immediately? And I feel that many times it breaks the relationships with the manager, it breaks the engagement with the employer or the organization. What should I do as an employee when I'm really feeling this?
See, negative is an emotion.
Hmm.
Feedback is not negative.
Okay.
Feedback
Hmm.
is a
Hmm.
feedback. Yes, intent of the feedback can be wrong.
Hmm.
And two is how you take that feedback. You can take it negatively. Of course, when something comes up, something which is not as per your expectation, it sounds negative.
Yes, yes, exactly. So what should I do? How should
But
I deal
but
with that?
but not every negative emotion needs to be addressed. You need to
Okay.
give yourself some time, but you need to analyze it well.
Okay.
Having
Hmm.
said that,
Hmm.
I don't deny that there is no favoritism. There is a favoritism.
Hmm. Hmm.
You can only raise up to a level.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Beyond a
Yeah.
point, you can understand that this place is not fit. I'll not go into too many things because, yes, there is a favoritism, there is, but not every negative feedback is actually negative. It might
Okay.
have
Hmm.
sounded you negative,
Okay.
but if
Hmm.
you give it some time, if you give it a thought, you'll find out ways how to improve on it. I'll share one example with you. I was in a job hunt, and I was, like every job seeker on LinkedIn, left, right, center, whoever comes to apply for a job. And I knew someone, one of my ex colleague. He was in such a senior position, and I thought, let me reach out to him. He can
Hmm.
help me in getting a job. And this guy, he was, I'll not say rude, but he was like very straightforward. He said, show me your resume.
Okay.
And they said, give me five good reasons why I should, refer you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
felt really bad.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He
Hmm.
was, if you don't want to support me,
Don't
say
do
no.
it. Say no, but yeah. Yeah.
Why are you pulling me down?
Yeah.
I didn't speak to him for months.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
later I realized all the points that he said were actually making sense.
Anyway, you had
Those
to do
were
that
the
in
those
interviews, right?
those,
I mean,
those were the weaknesses, and
yes.
and
Yes.
those were exposed in many interviews.
Hmm. Hmm.
I got some of those dream companies, where I wanted to work always, and I was able to break through and reach to the interview stage, and I messed it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Though they have given stupid reasons, you don't have that kind of qualification, you don't have that kind of experience. Deep
Yes.
within me, I knew. why I was rejected. Because by that time I have learned to take that feedback. Negative also, I'm making it negative.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Someone is trying to show me where the gaps are. So if I take
No.
it as
Yeah.
a gap thing and scope of improvement, it's a
Hmm,
positive
hmm.
feedback for me. But yes,
Yeah.
if there is a manager, who is after your life and not accepting anything, you cannot change the manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
So better find
Vivek,
a
you
better
rightly
person.
said intent is different than the actual case, right? As you said, the intent of the manager is to screw you. Then yes, you cannot do much. But if the intent is not like that, it is a genuine feedback, whatever manager felt. Can you take this as an
Correct.
opportunity in disguise? Let's say you felt bad. Obviously, you will feel bad. But can you take this as an opportunity to think, okay, maybe my alignment is wrong. Manager expected something else and I didn't deliver. I delivered something else, so I'm happy with my outcome, but it was not in alignment with something. So, or as you kept saying that alignment and then development, and like somewhere can we analyze. And I think, Vivek, you said that immediately it need not be addressed. Sometimes after some time you understand that it is not that negative either, even if that feedback is a bit strict.
See,
It is
I'll
not
quote
negative
one
either.
small example. The
Hmm.
last performance appraisal that I had faced in my corporate life, it went on pretty well. There was no negative. My manager ended it with one single statement.
Okay.
Vivek, you are very closed. You are very
Okay.
closed. You should open up.
Yeah, yeah,
My reaction inside me was, boss, he has already chosen someone
yeah,
to
yeah.
promote him, and
Now
he
you,
is finding out something, something,
yeah,
something.
some like, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Now when I'm doing in my entrepreneurship journey, I know what he said.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
times you have to open up and tell people
Open
what
up.
you.
Did you
I may
become
still
active on LinkedIn after that,
I may
Vivek?
still be closed, but now I remember those words. Smilingly, he gave me a feedback.
Mm.
Smartly, I ignored it. I think I wrote a post on it also on LinkedIn. So that's how it happens. Not every feedback is bad.
Feedback is negative. Yes, yes, yes.
We make it as positive or negative. So that's where we call it feed forward.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
your
Yeah.
response should be to take you forward.
Forward. Yeah, yeah. Did you become active on LinkedIn after that feedback, Vivek?
A little later.
Little late.
That's a very different journey. But yes,
No,
not immediately, but yes, after that. Once I
superb.
started, so I was on my job hunt. So
Yes,
LinkedIn was a golden area,
yes,
where you get jobs. I didn't get
yes,
any. Then that's a long journey we discussed the other day.
yes, 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 yes.
That's how it happens.
Manish, these are all my questions. Audience has already given you compliments, so thank you so much, audience. So many of you
Thank you,
have been
Satish.
here
Thank you,
throughout.
Manish.
So really, thank you so much, Vivek. And I liked the style, Vivek, that the question was about a bigger thing, but you went right inside and found the essence in it. And I always believe when you understand that essence, other details will be figured out, and it will be case to case
Correct.
basis. I'm sure with respect to individual people in the audience, there will be many cases, but if they sort of
Correct.
understand the essence, I think we really had a lot of things discussed today. Audience, if you have joined recently, make sure you watch the entire video. Okay, it will be available on LinkedIn, because Vivek looks like very calm, he speaks slowly, but like really golden words and strategies and tips came out. Okay, so thank you, Vivek, so much for
My
spending time with
pleasure.
all of
My
us.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was lovely having you here. I hope it helped the audience as well. Chalo,
Definitely,
pleasure
brother.
meeting you.
Definitely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.